Hi, Joey. Hi, Gloria. Sorry, guys, if I was gone for a minute. For some unknown reason, my thing. Hi, Janet. Everything went to a different page. Guys, give me a minute. I'm going to share this over on Facebook. I'll be right back. Okay. That should do that. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Barb. Did I miss anybody? Joey said she's from chilly old England. I'll tell you what, Joey, it's a little chilly here today. It's warmer actually outside than it is in here. But this morning I got up and it was 72, which, you know, for me is chilly. And then it went down to 71. Hi, Sharon. Guys, I'm going to just work in my little old glue book here for a little bit until everybody gets here, just to pass a little time. And for some unknown reason, my glue book has decided to come apart, and I have decided that part of it is the using such a wet medium. I pulled it apart. So I'm just going to do that for a few minutes and chat with you guys, but until everybody gets here. I'll put this back here. I have a plan. I want to use this book for something, and so I kind of want to get a little more stuff in it before I start using it. Hi, Susan. Did I say hello? I'm sorry if I missed you. Anyways, so I also had to get out another glue stick. I've used up a glue stick. Can you imagine that? I don't know how, but I managed to do it. Is anybody working on anything special today? Or just waiting for me to get started on the project? Hi, Mark. Thank you, Janet. Yeah, a thumbs up would be really nice, guys. Just watching. Have to get ready for Mark. Yeah, that's what happens. I don't have to go anywhere so I don't have to really get ready for work, but seem to spend an awful lot of time doing it. Just waiting for me. Oh, well, Patricia. I've been waiting for you guys too. I was ready a half an hour ago. I guess I could have gotten on, but then I wouldn't want to start early. Hi, Lisa. Are you going to get to actually play today? Jerry messaged me. She must be back from her little getaway, because she messaged me. She's not going to get here today, but she said that she had to go out for a bit, so I'm guessing that that means that she is home. So hi, Dawn. And Judy. Golly, guys. It's nice to have you all here. Janet, Lisa, do you know, is Becky down at the house this weekend? It seems to me that they went to the house. Okay, sounds good, Lisa. Listen, too, if I'm not still on and you need to finish up your page for the project, I am going to try, guys, to record and shorten it again. Hi, Mindy. I know it's jumpy when I do that, but at least you don't have to watch 3 hours of chit chat to get the gist of the project. So I'm going to try. At least that's the plan, is to continue to try to do that. It cut off last week, so it wasn't an entire video, but at least it's better than having to watch the whole thing. Okay, Gloria, that sounds good. I did remember to get a rag for my fingers. Hi, Elise. I am just gluing in my glue book while everybody gets here before we start the project. I didn't want to start until most everybody is here. So I am just kind of working in my... I have decided to call this book The Hulk. I don't know if somebody else has that label on theirs, but oh well if they do. Because it's getting really fat, and if it works the way I want it to work, it's going to get even fatter. I have an idea for it. Okay, Lisa. And besides the fact that I have this gigantic box of stuff that really needs to get used up. So I thought I would work on this for a few minutes. Ugh. Look at all those cute butterflies. And then in a few minutes, I've got a couple of envelopes I want to open. Because I'm pretty sure they're both napkin swaps. I know that one of them is. So I want to get them opened. Be sure. You could go glue page after page. I haven't even dented that box up there. Has everybody got your supplies together? Oh, guys, right now while I'm thinking about it, where's mine? If you have one of these, it's just a standard 1/4-inch hole punch. I should have told you that it would be a good idea to have this for today. And I didn't last week. I apologize for the project today. This 1/4-inch hole punch, just a standard cheapy one. You can get these at the Dollar Tree. You might even be able to get them cheaper than that at Walmart. I don't know. But it's just the cheap ones. So if you haven't got one of those handy, could you go fetch that before we get started? Because I should have put that on the list, and I did not. That's my bad. So, oops. I used up that entire Uno glue stick, which I hated. So I was really glad to see it gone. I'm just grabbing pieces of paper from up there, guys. I have my box of scraps sitting in front of me. So wow, you guys are all on time. I'm just kind of piddling here. I'm just collaging. Lisa, you need some like cereal box weight cardboard. And you need some smaller images. And then of course our regular stuff. So, oh, and you need a plastic bag. Like a grocery store bag. And I'm going to finish this one and then we're going to probably get started. Oh, when you see something that you want. Okay. Oh, my fingers are already sticky. Okay. I'm going for... Susan, it's not very many supplies that you need. If you wanted to grab them, let me get my fingers cleaned up. We'll get started, guys. Loaded a tub of fabric into the car. Wow. Hold on a minute, guys. I have to stand up. I need to be able to see over the fence next door. Okay. Sorry, the neighbor's dogs were having a conniption, and they don't usually do that unless somebody strange is over there, and there was an odd car, so just wanted to check it out. Because I think they may all be gone, most of them. One of the boys is in the driveway, so that should be all right. Okay. Oh, Becky, you have fabric to use up? This table now has 12 paper boxes. You know, those big office supply where you get paper from everybody, for everybody. Okay. I'm going to start by opening a couple of envelopes. Elise, yours is here, and I'm pretty sure this is napkin swap. But I wanted to let you know first it's here, and I wanted to open it and make sure it's napkin swap. So I don't want to cut into the napkins though. I'm pretty sure I can trim right there. And this is a beautiful envelope, guys. You should see it. Well, you can see it. Look at that. Oh, and this is a handmade envelope because that's not an envelope under there. Oh, Kendra's here? Hi, Kendra. Becky, when we moved south, I gave away 8 garbage bags full of fabric. I mean, big black garbage bags full of fabric. And then I took a whole bunch to the Goodwill. And then Jeffrey took a bunch actually to the what do you call that place? The dump. Yes, this is napkin swap, except there's something else in there. There's a little package. Oh, Elise, thank you. It says, Tanya, thank you. A little something for you. Oops, that's got our address on it. And it's got it's got really cute embellishments, guys. You have to see it. Let me hide that little thing. Judy's here. Yeah, I think I said hello to Judy. And Kendra, if you didn't hear me last week, thank you for the, there's pretty purple ones. These will go with my pink ones. And then some, ooh, these are pretty little embellishments. Oh, those are just light as can be. Elise, what are these made of? That's a good thing to do too, Becky. These are very, very, very lightweight. And that's a really pretty flower and there's some really pretty buttons in here. I don't know what these are made of, but they're real lightweight. And that's really cool. Elise, thank you for these little treasures. Polymer clay, and they're that lightweight. That's cool. Clay and I have never gotten along very well, so that's one of the things I don't play with very much. Thank you. And I'm not going to show you guys the napkins. I'm going to keep them hidden. Ha ha ha. Nah. But there's some pretty napkins in here. So that makes my 5th envelope for the napkin swap. And this one I know is for the napkin swap because she wrote right on there. And this one is from Elaine, and Elaine is from Australia. So I'm just going to make sure that that's what's all in here. These are some really cool painty envelopes too, guys. That's really fun. Thank you. Okay, there's a trading coin in here for me, so we have to open it. Oh, guys, there's some really pretty napkins in here. Oh, can you see? Well, Becky, are you at the house that you're loading up? Susan, yes. You can, if you want to send multiple kinds, you can. But the whole point was to be able to send one kind of napkin, and then I'll swap them out. So this is what I wanted, guys. I wanted to get this out of there. And it says, it's a thank you. And she sent a couple extra napkins. Oh, now that's cute. Okay, we got to look at this, guys. Elaine, oh, look at there. Isn't that sweet? The background for this trading card is melted wax or encaustic. That's one of those things I haven't done. I haven't tried to do. Drive safe, Becky. I'm sorry I missed something. Hi, Ruby. Okay. Oh, that's really cool. Can you guys see? I don't know because it's shiny. There's a texture on the coin. But Susan, does that make sense as far as sending the multiples of one and then I'll swap them out? That's the idea behind having a centralized swap, is you don't have to have more than one package. Oh, Scott will be exhausted. Oh, Becky. Okay, thanks, Susan. And Ruby, did I say hi? I hope so. Anyways, guys, that's really pretty. Thank you, Elaine. So, guys, that's 6. I've got 6 packages, and the swap's not even gonna get swapped until January. So we're gonna have a nice big swap. I'll have to get out the camera and film it because it's gonna be fun. All right, we'll put this away. Okay. Now that's, like I said, that's 6 packages, so let me see, what's a good spot? Oh, yeah, Becky. I can see that. It was bad enough and we were just across town trying to get one thing done at the house and go across town to sleep. You have to sign up again, Mary? Oh, hi, Mary. I didn't see you pop in before. I'm going to scroll back up for a second, guys, and make sure that I've not missed anybody. If I've missed you, I'm sorry. Let's see. Lise, Mindy, Sharon, Judy. Kendra. Okay, I think I've got y'all. So if I missed you, I am sign up. Mary, you don't have to sign up. You just send them to me as long as they're here by the 4th of January. That's all that matters. If they come after the 4th, I won't be able to swap them out. Yes, Becky, I do that. I understand that. I'm sorry. And Mary, they're 4-inch napkins. You can send me all of one kind from 1 to 8, and you'll get back 1 to 8. You need to send me postage. There is, Mary, a video on the napkin swap on how, what I want you to do. So. Okay, guys, I wanted to go over the supplies for today. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if you guys noticed this last time, but I recorded the live stream and then I cut parts of it as best I could. It's very choppy when you do that. But I'm going to try to record this again so that I can, it makes it easier. Mary, that's not good either. So hold on a minute, guys. I'll be back in just a second. It's all right, Jeff. All right. Okay, guys, I want to go over, let me see here. I think everybody that's here, thank you, Janet. Thank you, thank you. Becky, or Mary, this is my lunch. I figured I had to have something here in case I got hungry. I mixed some walnuts in with some trail mix that Jeff had taken to the football game. But we all pretty much have the basic supplies. One of the things that it's getting harder for me to do is cut things straight. So I would like you to, if you have a cutter, some sort of cutter or a mat and a knife, ruler, however you cut stuff that's straight instead of just scissors. If you don't have some kind of straight cutter, that is one of the things I would invest in. So in the future, you might want to have one of these around just in case some of the things we want to do uses it. Susan, I'm so glad. Yeah, it was a choppy video last week, and then the end disappeared. And so, oh, Captain D's. We don't have, I don't know if that we have one of those here. Anyways, so if you don't have one of these, and since this is a Totally Junk Junk Journal, we're using all junk, and I'm trying to stay down with the supplies, but this is something I really think you should have. That's just one of those things. I mean, we can cut a lot of things with scissors, but not everything. So that's one of the things you should be on the lookout for, is a paper cutter. If you don't have one, yeah, wonky tags are fun. I loved them, but and I'm not worried about my tags today so much. Becky is something else I have in my mind for later. On one of my other, I told Mary I had 6, but I'm now up to about, I think, 15. So projects for this. It keeps growing. So and of course all of our things. Now for next week, and I want to tell you about next week now, so that if some of you go before the end, then you'll be prepared. Really and truly, you just need your basics. Plus, I want you to have some envelopes, some junk mail envelopes, and that are white inside. Okay? We're going to use these like pages. And I don't care if they have a window or not. And then you want, because I tore a lot of my security envelopes up, but I need you to have a couple of whole security envelopes for next week. So for next week, we will need some white envelopes with white inside, and some security envelopes that are whole. Okay, and I'll go back over that at the end after we finish our project. But I just wanted everybody, because I know Lisa said she's going to have to go for a while, that kind of thing. So, and I know Becky might not hear. I wanted to show you where mine is going, and it's getting kind of fat. So I may have to think about us getting a cover to put some things in, just to keep it neater, and so they don't get lost. But I, of course, put some blank envelopes in mine to use as pages. And this is my pocket. And there's another page, and then this is my side pocket. And I'll probably put a few more blank envelopes in here. Oh, look how that one came out. Isn't that interesting? That was luck, guys. So that's where my project stands. And then today, we're going to use some cardboard. And it can be mailer type, the stuff. We've been getting a ton of political stuff, and they're all on this heavier cardboard. Anything that you want to use that's on the order of the cereal box. Now, the reason we want cereal box or something like that is because these cardboards have stuff on the back, and we want a plain backing so that we have something to write on. And I actually just set this here because this came in the mail yesterday, and it's got an interesting image, and I wanted to show you guys to be on the lookout, not just in magazines for images, because there's another cute little image that comes off of my tea box. Okay. And we're going to do things a little backwards today. I want you to get your small images out. You may not use them all, and that's okay. But I need you to glue your small images to, not to your heavier cardboard, but we also needed some lighter weight cardboard. And you can use this political stuff because you're not going to see the backs of these. So what I want you to do is to take your smaller images and just, now Mary's got hers probably fussy cut out, and that's okay. I am not going to cut mine just yet. I'm going to just rough cut them out. Okay, there we go. And I want you to glue your smaller images to the cardstock, the lighter weight cardstock, not the heavy stuff. Okay? And make sure it's glued down real well, and I want you to do that now because that way it'll be dry after a bit. So, and I'm sorry to do things a little backwards today, and so you may not have had your images out. One of the things you might want to do is burnish down your images. The reason that we're doing this is that we're kind of creating our own little embellishments that have some body to them. By putting them on cardboard. Oh boy, everybody got really quiet all of a sudden. Are you all gone or just working? Everyone's busy. Okay. Another place that I find images is these envelopes that come in the mail. And I'm just putting down, oh, say a bunch of images just because I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to use just yet. Hi, Patricia and Judy. Oh, you're telling me what you're doing. All right. At least I know. At least I know you're all here. I'm gonna get a little drink. I have to tell you, we got a rainstorm Thursday. It rained like you would not believe. It was, I was supposed to, we were taking Mom to the driver's license place. She'll drive herself out here, but to drive up there is a little too far. So, and it's out of her comfort zone. So I just always, if we have to go up there for any reason, I take her. And we called her and said, it's getting ready to really rain. You best either come early or we're going to have to come get you. Gloria, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to cut these apart later. I am just putting down a bunch of little images because I don't know what I am going to use. And so I'm just sticking stuff down for the moment. If you've got a smaller piece, that's fine. If it needs to go on 2 pieces, that's fine. I just, like I said, I'm just sticking them down. I had gathered up several different little things because I really wasn't sure what I was going to use. And this works to make embellishments for other projects too. I have these little angels I can stick down and use. These are all 3 Christmas things, so I may not use them today, but I might use them in some Christmas cards or something like that. I should have cut more carefully. That would have been cool. Oh well. Okay, I missed something from it. Cardboard mailer's glossy. It should stick, Ruby. This cardboard is glossy, and this one is pretty glossy too, and they're sticking pretty well. Yeah. Now, if it's I mean, if it's plastic, it would depend on your glue stick. Hi, Maggie. Good morning. Maggie, I watched your postcard video. That's a beautiful postcard. But Gloria, does that make sense? Why are you sorry, Maggie? Oh dear. Ruby, are they sticking or is there a problem? Oh. Oops. Maggie, we're working on our Totally Junk Journal project. I don't know if you've been off camping and stuff. Oh dear, Maggie. Okay. Laura, see, I don't really have them covered. I'm just sticking them. I'm just using this whole piece of cardboard to stick down. And guys, when you think you've got enough images stuck, like that's probably enough. I'm going to keep sticking images until most of you say you're ready. Okay. Oh, that glue just gets all over my fingers. Oh, good, Maggie. I knew that you did the tags the other day and said you were just trying to get back in it. Yeah, Gloria, we're just backing our small images for later. Okay. Okay, Ruby. The thing is, we want our small images to be on a little bit of cardstock weight kind of thing, because when you see the tag, you'll understand that if we had them just on the paper, they would get distorted. So we're just backing our small images. And guys, when you think you've got most of the images you want backed, say ready. Okay? And Gloria, I'm going to switch to this other cardboard just because that piece is kind of full. And I'm just going to sit this aside, guys, so that it can dry. Ew. Oh, I didn't tear that out. I like these. I put these on the back of tags a lot. It looks like a written, looks like you're writing something. It gives you a writing spot. That's what I'm trying to say. Da, da, da. Oh dear, Dawn. And Maggie, yeah, sciatica's real bad. I had sciatica along with bursitis at the same time, and it took several years to get it to go away. Several shots, several things like that. Okay, we need some more little images. Oh, I know what I got out. These. Yeah, Dawn, you don't have to get it done in one thing. I'm sorry, guys, I was reading. I found these images in a little paper that I pick up when we go to the fabric store. They use some really nice clip art And I love this clock. So the next door neighbors are being very noisy. Those people that came in over there are very loud. And I don't know if the rest of you make such a mess. I end up with glue all over my fingers. I don't know what the deal is. Dawn, you can do anything you want. I am right here with this. Basically, I'm making ephemera, if that makes sense. These are for the last little layer that we're going to do on our tags. So if you don't have images and you don't want to use them, that's fine. I just wanted you to do these now so that they get dry. And yes, Susan, we're going to cut them out. We're doing them now so that, okay, Lisa. We're doing them now so that they're dry when we want to cut them out in a little bit. That is why we're doing them now. They'll cut out better and they'll just behave better if they're not damp. Glue stick dries pretty fast, but if your papers aren't wet, then they'll just be a little easier to use. If that makes sense, guys. Okay, I'm ready. Let me know, guys, when you're ready. We don't need a ton of images, but you can make as many tags as you want or don't want too, so. That's good, Dawn. I'm glad it made sense. I'm going to just cut this little guy out while you guys are still working. This is a cardboard one that came on the tee. So, we had a woodpecker in the tree out front this morning. We've had a whole flock of little, I think Jeff told me they were finches. Thank you, Janet. I forgot to mention the Facebook group. Yeah, guys, if you're playing along, it'd be fun if you showed off your pages for the excuse me, in the Facebook group. I think last week's project was a little daunting. Not as many people shared as the first week. There we go. Now this has got a really cool, I don't know if you can see it. We'll see. We'll hold it there until I can see it. It's got a little yellow, sort of like, it's not really a fleur-de-lis, it's kind of just a flourish. Now we're not cutting out our ones that we glued. We're leaving them alone. Anybody ready? Lisa's images were down, but she's gone off. Mary, are you playing along today? Elisa's ready. Mary's playing. Whatever these were, Susan, they sort of came and went. We don't expect them to stay, but Jeff has a feeder out there and it's got like 6 or 8 little bars on it where feeding holes, and every last feeding hole was full. So they found dinner, that's for sure. Let's see, what else can we talk about? We talked about the fact that what you need for next week, and that I want you to try to have in your stash a cutter. And I told you earlier I had messed up that you need one of these hole punches today. Let's see. Can't think of anything else. Oh, I was telling you about the rain. I don't know why I got sidetracked. So we went. Mom got out here before it started to rain. She decided she would start out, and that if it started to rain too hard, she would just pull over, and we could come and get her. So we decided that was fine. And she got out here just fine, and it hadn't really started to rain, so we waited just a little bit before we left because we didn't want to be too early for our appointment. And we got there, but as soon as we left here, it started to just pour. I mean, pour. Yeah, Janet, you said that on Facebook. I can't believe he comes to the door to get food. Susan, one of them keeps thinking he's going to use the solar light that we have. They're automatic solar lights that come on at night, and he keeps flying to the top of it with stuff, and that's not going to be a pleasant place to nest, I'm sure. Anyway, so we get in the car and we head out there, and it rained so hard that we were soaking wet just getting into the driver's license place. We had gone after her handicap placard, and it was just a mess going in and coming out. It was terrible. That was really awful. So, hi, Ray D. We are playing with a project that we've been working on for the last few weeks, but you can start anytime. I'll show you mine. It's called the totallyjunkjunkjournal. We're using, now you can use whatever you want, but my goal was to do something that anybody with almost no supplies and no tools could do. So I am using junk mail and some magazines and very little tools. We've stuck to a glue stick so far. Up until today, we had scissors and a needle and thread. Oh, Janet, I can't believe that. And so Ray, this is my project. We started when we work on something, it becomes a folded piece, so that you end up with 4 pages. And this is my signature so far. I'm using some plain envelopes as extra pages. This is a pocket page that we made. Then this is the last week's, and it's a side pocket that you reach into. That one just is a little harder to get into. And then, of course, you end up with your pockets back here. And I just saw this today. I did not see that when I stuck it in there, but that image showed up in the window. And today we're working on some tags, and but there is a what do you call that? A playlist for the Totally Junk Journal. Jerry suggested I put it into a playlist. Now, most of them are in live streams, but I have started recording the live stream so that I can shorten it for everybody. The first couple I cannot do that to because they were done without recording it. It makes the video very choppy, but at the same time it shortens up the project a little because we spend a lot of time chatting too. So, but if you want to grab some supplies, Ray, what we've done so far is we're putting small images onto some lightweight type cardstock weight kind of thing. This is a political mailer. Actually that's a post office mailer. I cut in half. It probably came out of, I had to order some boxes from the post office. Thank you, Janet. Oh, Susan, you don't need to worry about catching up. You know, it's just a matter of if your book doesn't have those exact pages, it's not a big deal. But anyways, this is the lid off of the other one is the lid off of my Lipton tea, and this is just lighter weight cardboard. So if you wanted to grab some images and do that, the next step we're going to use some cardboard that is like cereal box cardboard. This weight. This is just cereal box. And it doesn't matter what size this is right now. I'm going to use some of these Celestial Seasonings tea boxes, but you could use this is because there's a piece of rice in that one. This is a box. This one's a little bit lightweight, but that's probably okay. I would prefer a cereal box. Ray, it is a lot of fun. I will tell you that. This is cider box, and it would make a good card, a good tag. And the different boxes are going to give you different shaped tags, and everybody's pages are different. We do not have a cover yet because I said I wanted y'all to make some of your pages. We'll make a cover for it down the road. Ray, just give me a second. I'll give you if you want to do a screenshot. Actually, the last week's there's a list in the description in the live from last week. But here, if you want to do screenshot too, there's a list of your basic supplies. Is that in right? Yep, that's in. Okay, that's basic supplies. We need to be on the lookout for things like a cereal box, a big cardboard box, and by big, I mean pretty good sized. You may need to ask for one at the grocery store, and that's just to be big, large, corrugated cardboard box. A brown paper grocery bag. The single-sided mail is like this. It's white on one side and it has something on the other side. We're going to do some projects on this side where we want to have some writing paper on the inside. And then each week I give you and it looks like I got something on that. Each week I give you a list of the extra supplies that you need, and you might want to keep them in your stuff. Like we used a pokey tool, and there's all kinds of pokey tools. We discussed that. Things like a push pin or a tack or a needle, or I used my my Tim Holtz pokey tool or whatever that is. It's gone because I don't know where it's at. An ice pick, okay, any of those kinds of things. The week 3 we need, and let me show you why we needed those things. Week 2, when we needed the needle and thread, we sewed around our project at the end. Week 3, we needed 2 pieces that were the same size because we put them together and then sewed the top and the bottom. Now I glued it and then sewed it. We're using images. We're using security envelopes and book pages as the background. You can use your okay, Maggie, have a cup of coffee and enjoy your day. Thanks for popping in. This week we're using cereal box weight cardboard. We are going to use an ink pad of some kind and either a makeup sponge or a dauber tool, that kind of thing. You needed a plastic bag, and I'm talking like a grocery store bag, but I did find, guys, I found a black one. So, bye, Maggie. And we wanted smaller focal images. I've lost what I did with mine. There they are. We don't want our focal images to be real big this time because we're making tags. And then we need a hole punch. I did tell everybody that there are some things I want to do that you're going to need sort of to be able to cut straighter lines. So either a cutter or a mat, cutting mat and a knife, ruler, that kind of thing. Whatever you like to cut straight lines with. Okay, guys, how are we doing? Who's ready? I'm going to tell you what. Set your images aside. Let them get dry. Okay? We're going to set them off to the side. Mary's ready. Elise is ready. I'm ready. So everybody just set your images off to the side. We'll work with them a little later. Sharon's ready. Okay. Now then, we're going to have to cut some tags. And I'm going to work with, probably with these today. So I am just going to cut some rectangles right now. And don't throw this extra stuff away right now. We're going to keep it for the moment. For right now, you want 2 pieces. Now, I was going to show you something that I thought was really fun. There's also, when you cut your what do you call it, cereal box up, you have a really nice, fun, skinny tag. Or 2 skinny tags. See there? Now, for this particular part of the project, you do want something that's heavier weight, like the Dawn, it does not matter. You're going to put them in your book. So if you make a big tag, it's going to need to go into your side pocket here. Like so. Or it could go in, like, look at these would be really cute in there that way. So I may make a bunch of that size. But you've also got your other little pocket here that they can go in. So it really just, whatever size you want to make them. But I want you to have at least 2 pieces cut and ready to go. Let me know when you're ready. Is this? Oh, I can use that. Okay, Ruby's ready. She's ready, ready, ready. Yeah, your tags should fit, just, and it just really doesn't matter if they don't fit in your pocket page. We'll just have to make a different kind of pocket page another day, won't we? I might be able to tell you that there's a couple more ideas. I'm just cutting up some cardboard right now, waiting for you guys to be all ready with your tags. Okay, Ruby's ready. Elise is ready. Mary's ready. I think Sharon, you're ready with this part too, aren't you? Susan's ready, but she's just watching. Okay. Okay, Eva, we're going to work on 2 for right now. So you need 2 pieces of cardboard, and I'll catch you up on the other steps later. If you get done ahead of time, holler at me, and I'll tell you what to do. Sharon's ready. I know, Eva, that's hello. So you need 2 pieces of cereal weight type cardboard. I just happen to have those lids. And then if you want to do 2 little tags, that's fine too. Whatever you want to do. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go on though, because the next part, what we're going to do, and we're going to work on one first, and then I'll show you the second one. I want a whole bunch of small and medium size little squares of cardboard. You see those? And you can just use your odds and ends. That's got some kind of strange markings in it, so it's not, I didn't want to use it. And we don't want them to be all the same size. We want them to be all just kind of random pieces. I'm making 2 right now, but we'll just see how many we end up making. We don't want the pieces to be real huge, just because if they're too big, then you don't get much variety. Okay, I don't think that's quite enough. Okay, if it's not enough, we can cut up some more. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to glue these down, and and we're going to glue them down to the decorated side so that we have the back side to write on if we want to write on it in our book. Okay, so I'm just going to use my glue stick. I didn't use anything else. And I'm just going to make sure that you get really good coverage on your little pieces. And when we put our little pieces on here, we want to leave room between them. So take a look at this. Give me just a minute to get a few on here. See how they're not perfect squares or anything like that. They're just random little pieces, and there's space between them. That's what I'm trying to say, space between them. Okay, yeah, that one may need another piece. Okay guys, so I want you to, basically you're creating sort of like a little tile effect on your page, on your tag. And we're going to work on this one first. My glue stick got all slimy. And it's just random. We're just going to put it down all random everywhere. But you want to make sure you get real good coverage on your glue. Okay? I hope that's making sense to everybody. And if you get a spot where you don't like how this is going to fit, either pick up another piece or cut this piece and put this piece down. Remember, it's just cardboard that you got from your cereal box. And I didn't cut near enough pieces. Oh, wait 1 second, guys. Okay, everybody are you listening? Guys, we need to cut our tag shape first. I'm sorry, I boo-booed. Heads up, everybody listening. To cut your tag shape, I just take and cut one side at an angle, and then I take this little piece and I turn it on over here, and then I hold it and I cut that side. So you do want to cut your tag angle on there before you glue all your little pieces on. Okay? And if you don't have enough little pieces, cut out some more, because, you know, it's just cardboard. Well, I like that little tiny one. Becky, are you going to try to use all of the fabric that you've picked up at the house? That would take me the rest of my lifetime. Sure, Becky, you could use the cut off triangles at the top. Oh, that's perfect, Becky. Did you see this, guys, what Becky said? If you take these little triangles, you can put them into your pattern up here at the top. Thank you, Becky. Where I lost my other one though. Oh, there it is. It's sitting there. Well, I keep going through mine and trying to get rid of more, but I took a bunch to Mom the other day. I had a bunch of like pre-printed things that you stuff, Becky. And she sometimes uses that stuff to make toys and whatnot for the kids. So she does a lot of charity sewing is what I'm trying to say. Oh, about art? All about art. Hi, do you have a name that I should try to remember? Which might not happen. We're doing a Totally Junk Journal project. And right now we're making a tag. Excuse me, guys. My throat gets dry when I talk. and all about art. The chat gets a little quiet when they're working on their project because they're all following along. Or not all, but many of them are following along. Oh, hi, Kimberly. Oh, you are playing too. Good. Hi. Well, I'm glad you're playing along. I didn't get started too soon, did I, Kimberly? Who I haven't seen is Beth Ann. It was Beth Ann I was going to ask a question of. I haven't seen her in here today. I'm glad that everybody's having so much fun with this project. I really am, because it's fun for me. You're gluing away, okay. Beefy better be playing. Mindy, who is Beefy? I don't know that I know Beefy. Okay. Okay, the stinker is out in the yard enjoying the day. Kimberly, I don't know if that's your husband or your child or... Oh, you rescue... Okay. Okay. Eva, are you talking about the tags? If you're talking about the tags, Eva, they're whatever size you want them to be. They're going to go in the pockets that you've already made. This one happens to be about 3 by 5 or so. These little ones are like 2 by 5. But if you've got a cereal box, you can make them big. I just didn't get mine too big so that I wouldn't be holding everybody up. So, Kimberly, mine is definitely. He's outside playing with his Jeep. He got some new off-road lights for his Jeep, but he's also cleaning it up. We're supposed to be in the Veterans Day Parade next week, so he's getting it all cleaned up and figuring out how to tie his flags and all that kind of stuff to his Jeep. So now, guys, if you haven't figured this out already, what we just did is we created texture. And we don't have texture paste or anything like that. We just used cardboard that was destined for the recycle bin. Now, we're not done, but holler when you're ready, when your tag has got its texture laid on top of it. Becky, I told you, I have, my head, it keeps popping. I keep waking up in the middle of the night with more ideas. I don't know, we may have to make 3 or 4 books. It depends. I think as fat as some of these are getting, that I may do the cover in a couple of weeks, just so that we can maybe put some signatures in, just to keep them from getting damaged. I don't want my signature to get banged up, so I may work on the cover in a couple of weeks. I haven't decided. So yeah, Mindy, ideas are good, but when they wake you up in the middle of the night, they're not so great. So, and I'm going to excuse myself for a minute and have a little snack. Excuse me, I'm going to bend over here and try not to chew loud. I just ate too much for breakfast. I couldn't eat my lunch early today. I can usually eat my lunch. Patricia, I'm so glad you're having fun with it. Somebody mentioned to me that while they had a lot of supplies, somebody that she cared about did not. And that person struggled when they didn't have any supplies to do things. And when I was staying in the RV and living in the RV, I did not have my stuff. I had a couple of tubs of art supplies, and that was it, because my studio space in the RV was destined for glass. There was no room. I had to have beads and glass and stuff like that, because that's my job. So there was no room for this kind of stuff. So I had a few things. I had scissors and a cutter, and I had a lot of fun doing this kind of mixed media stuff without a lot of supplies. When you get your one tag done, guys, you're only doing one right now. When you get your one tag done, holler and say ready. And Mary, when you get a chance, tell me how cold it's gotten up there. My kidlet, you know, is in Omaha. Janet, have you tried making sprays out of very watered down acrylic paint? 46. Okay, Elise is ready. And how about snow, Mary? And Janet, do you have any re-inkers for ink pads? You know, the little bottles of ink to re-ink your ink pads? Because I used to make alcohol spray out of that all the time. No, okay, Mary, that's good. Patricia, we used to live in South Dakota, and when he graduated from high school, he moved to Omaha. And he says he's going to try to move down here, but I don't know when it's going to happen. Well, I would think, Janet, watercolor paint would do it. Now, I have some tubes that are very gritty of watercolor paint. But yeah, Patricia, he's in Omaha. He's a mechanic for a company that buys and sells cars. They have, I think, 6 or 7 used car lots. And they buy cars by the truckload. And when he... Oh, no, he's not with me. Okay, Dawn's ready. Elise is ready. Patricia, I'd really like it if he was with me. I really would. That would make me very happy. But okay, Kimberly's ready. Ruby, how about you? Mary, how about you? Are you guys ready? Janet, I would think anything that you could make liquid enough to come out of a spray bottle, but then of course you have to have a spray bottle. And I used to buy spray bottles at Walmart, but I don't know that they have them anymore. I used to buy little ones. Okay, Mary's almost ready. I don't think you would want to put the alcohol in with acrylic paint. Target has them. Eva says Target has little spray bottles. Of course, you could buy big spray bottles at Dollar Tree. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you that you want to go ahead now and punch your hole in your tag. Okay, and if you don't have a hole punch, I'm afraid you're going to have to stick your scissors in there and go like that, like this. Just put your scissors in there and very carefully create a hole. It can be done. So you don't have to have a hole punch, but you want to do it now before we get any more thickness on this. Janet, in the past, I've used my re-inkers for my ink pads to make sprays. I think Lisa used food coloring. Sharon, did you see Sharon says Sally's Beauty Supplies has spray bottles too? Of course, Mindy, and thank you again, Mindy. Mindy sent me some wonderful, wonderful sprays, and I haven't touched them yet. I'm a bad girl. Okay, guys, we're going to go to the next step. If you want to take a peek right now, what we're going to do is we are going to take our book pages and our security envelope stuff, and we are going to attach it to our tag. Now, you don't want huge, huge pieces of paper. You want to have a little variety here. Oh goodness, I'm going to have an avalanche over here. So I am going to use small bits to attach, and when you put it down, you want to make sure that you really burnish it down with your fingers so that the book page and the other papers go into the dents of between the cardboards, is what I'm trying to say. Is like push it down with your fingers and get it in there and make it go around your little pieces. Okay? Gel food coloring makes some awesome sprays. But like I said, you want to make sure you put plenty of glue on your little pieces, and you want to really burnish them in there. Of course, that much glue was too much, but and just kind of push them down with your fingers. Now, if you want, you can use like another piece of cardboard or your little plastic tool. I just use my fingers because they're small little pieces. And remember, they don't all need to be right side up. They can be upside down. They can go sideways. They can overlap. Uh-oh, Mary, I'm sorry that your tiles got too close together. Believe it or not, when you get the glue stick on the book page, it will soften. It's funny how I was real surprised by it, but I don't care. You know it's yours. Use what you want. The other thing is if you happen to have dictionary paper's thinner if your tiles are too close together. I can't find my tile spaces right now. There we go. Thank you, Janet. The idea is though that we don't have texture paste, we don't have that kind of a supply, so we're creating texture in our background with what we have. And I get to working and I forget to talk. I'm sorry. Kendra, are you playing today? I don't remember if I asked or if I saw. Yeah, the dictionary page is real thin. Okay. Oh, I've got it stuck down to the mat. Oh, I think I better put in some more of this. I just realized I got it awfully heavy-handed with book page. was not paying attention. Yes, Eva, hymnal paper will work really well too. At least some hymnal paper. I have a couple of really old hymnals that are, what shall I say? They're much heavier bond paper. But the one I tear stuff out of all the time is really thin, like dictionary paper. Eva, one day I was in the thrift store and the books were all 4 for $1, and I got 4 or 5 hymnals. I have shared them around, and I don't have but a couple now because I just, I don't need 5. But they were $1.25 a piece. Now they were newer ones, so the paper wasn't quite as pretty, or yeah, it's real thin. It's real thin paper. It's very much like dictionary paper, if you ask me. And the thing of it is that dictionary paper and the hymnal paper, they're pretty strong. That's what always gets me, is how strong that paper is. Tissue paper would work too. Like colored tissue paper. I've got to have some more. My security envelope amounts didn't come out very well. I didn't get enough out. So I need some more of it. What don't I have? I don't have any of this out. I had one piece of that. We'll get some more of that out. And some of this. Magazine pages would work too, Mary, if you wanted a darker background, but the problem is the next step wouldn't show on a darker background. So book paper, I need some book paper. Uh-oh, Ruby, did you catch the next step? We're putting our dictionary paper and our security paper on our tag, and we are pushing down in between all of the little pieces of cardboard. So you want to make sure that you use smaller pieces just because it's a tag, and you want to make sure that you push your papers down in around things. And I'm sorry that we went ahead without you. I apologize. Okay. Now, you could also, if you were using something thin like the dictionary page, you could put one page on there, and it would push down in the pieces. You could, instead of collaging, you could put just one whole piece on there. I'm just going to leave it sit there like that. I actually think I will try that out. And I think I will use some bigger pieces so that we... to the little house, okay? Oh, Becky, I couldn't see that that was spelled wrong. I would have just read it as house. How about that? Okay, and Becky, are you guys leaving now? Scott has one more blade to install. Okay. Well, tell us bye before you get ready to drive, because we want to make sure that you're home safe. Oh dear. I don't mind traveling. I don't mind driving in the rain, Becky. I just don't like to drive in a storm. I don't know. It might be the storm that was here 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And Becky, that's just, I'll tell you what, I know you are not, that's not fun, but it's a whole heck of a lot better than it was to drive back and forth to South Dakota from Florida 6 times in 3 months or 4 months. We made a trip every 2 weeks at least, and sometimes we've got home and turned around and drove back again. Of course, I had driven back and forth quite a bit in the 2 years previous to that, so... It would take 2 days just about. Oh, that one I don't like that way. Now guys, I am just working on something extra. This is not the second tag. When you get this far, tell me ready. Okay? When you've got your tag covered with your papers, tell me ready. Yeah, Becky, it will. It just, I know it's exhausting, And that is unfortunately one of those bad things, that it just takes so much out of you. And I was really not doing that much work, other than Jeffrey did all of the loading of the trailer and the packing and all that stuff. He did all of that. I worked on my business, and I did what I could on the extra days, and he packed the whole kitchen, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the big thing, Becky, is that it's wearing on you because it's taking so long. I think it would me anyways. Okay, Elise is ready. Dawn is ready. Yeah, that's Kimberly's ready. Yeah, Becky, the paycheck thing, that was one thing. We didn't even try to do this until Jeff had retired. So, and really, it worked very well, and everything went smoothly until the RV got wrecked. So, it took us a while to find a piece of property, and that's one of the things down here. The houses were selling so fast, we couldn't find anything. For those of you that are ready, just if you want to make something extra, go ahead. That's not one of the. I'm just working on something extra because I wanted to see how it would work. And this is not one of my tags that I am going to show you. It's just an extra one. But you guys can always make more than one. It doesn't hurt my feelings any. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Okay. Eva's ready. Yeah, Becky, we couldn't even, every time we looked at a house, it would disappear before we could look at it a second time. Now, I know I had some, oh, there they are. Now, we'll just get a new one out. Ruby, how are you doing, dear? Because I think you are a little behind us. I don't want to go too fast and leave you in the dust. No, Eva, we're going to do something different. So this is just an extra tag, Eva. This is an extra one. We're going to do something a little different on the next tag. I'll show you in just a second. For those of you that are ready, if you want, you can cut out your little embellishments. You can be working on that. Give you something to do. We were talking, Mary is using dictionary page, and I said that I thought that if you use dictionary page on this, that you could probably use a whole sheet and it would still be pushed into your tag pieces. So I wanted to try it out. So we'll find out. But yeah, I think so. So Eva, that would work too with your hymnal page. Okay. Well, that's really cool. Yep. I'm going to have to clean up my table though, because I've made a mess. Not just of me, but also of the table. At least we are making some totally junk journal tags. Out of our junk mail and book pages and cardboard. Becky, that'd work. That'd be cool. Yes, Janet, if you used Mod Podge or something like that, the page would go right down in. I didn't want to add another supply. Can I have everybody? I know not everybody's ready. Mary, are you ready? Oh, the next step, we're going to trim around this tag first. We're just going to set it aside then. Now, Mary may not trim around hers because her journal is got scruffy edges. So if you want scruffy edges, don't trim this off. Okay. Okay, at least we're going to make another tag now. This one needs to dry. So while this is drying, everybody, we're going to get out another tag. Can I have everybody's attention? Okay, I used it. Okay, well, that's fine. Give me just a second, guys. I gotta trim another piece here. Yeah, I love Mary's scruffy edges, Kimberly. All right, guys, we're going to do another tag. Okay, so on our second tag, we want to go ahead and cut the corners. Oh, I guess it would help if I cut them properly. And this time, we're going to cut like 1/4 inch long strips out of our other cardboard. What I'd like you to do is when you put these pieces on your card, on your tag, I'd like you to leave about a bigger space between them. Leave about 1/4 of an inch this time. So we're going to put these strips on here just like so. We're going to glue them down, and then we're going to do the same thing we did to this one. Okay? That's the next thing we're going to do. And while we're doing that, this is getting dry, and that's what we need, is for this to get dry. And Janet, if you used wet glue, you know, like if you used Mod Podge. Now the problem is if these wiggled around, but if you used Mod Podge, you could just Mod Podge the whole thing and then come back and Mod Podge the top and stick your stuff on, and it would really stick down. So but remember, this time we want about 1/4 of an inch strips, and we want them to be about 1/4 of an inch apart. And Mary, I have to tell you, I have been very impressed by this glue stick. This extreme glue stick that Mary likes so well. It does very, very well. I was very surprised by it. Okay, so now we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did on this one. But I am going to put mine in stripes that go across it, like so. They're still going to be torn and ragged, but they're going to have, it's going to have stripes. And remember to push down between your cardboards. I may have to get out some bigger papers. And guys, you could be using your scrap bin too. You know, some of you have scrap bins. I'm just using all junk mail and book pages because of the idea behind what I was trying to achieve, if that makes any sense at all. Yeah, I need some bigger pages. Well, you know, Mary, I'm not a real big fan of glue sticks, and when I wanted to start this project, I I didn't want to have 5 kinds of glue, and I thought, well, we're going to try it with just with glue sticks. So okay. Okay, Ruby, we're working on our second one. We're doing that, we're doing stripes of cardboard about 1/4 of an inch apart. I go through more catalog pages. And Mary, I really like your scruffy edges. If I'd have thought of it first, I might have been leaving my edges scruffy, but okay, I gotta have better turn around, I'm just causing an avalanche. Okay, that's a good piece. That's a good piece. Yeah. Okay. From me? No, Mary, I learned about them from you. I sent you one, but I had never used them before. There you go, Mary. It may have been Janet. I'm going to be so sorry when this security envelope is all gone because I don't have any more like it. I think it's so cool. I need one more something something. Okay. Now I'm going to trim around this one the same way I trimmed around the last one. And then I'm going to set it off to the side to dry too. That is if I can pick it up off of my mat, because I've stuck it to the mat. There we go. Oh, that's good. Really stuck it to the mat. Mary, somehow we need to get Jana a channel, because my gosh, she is so talented. Gotta have a drink. Okay, I'm going to trim around this just like I did the last one. And then I forgot to punch my hole ahead of time, so I'm just going to go back in and punch my hole. Yeah, Eva, I learned, I had been using baby wipes, but Jerry made the comment, Jerry Bellini from Recycled Parts for Art, that she kept a chamois that was wet. So I made myself a little rag wet bowl. These are all wet, so that I could wipe my fingers off. Okay, wait a minute. We glued down a potato chip? Oh, Mary. I missed about the potato chip. I would have thought Mark, if he'd have been here, he would have glued the potato chip down. I'm going to have another walnut, so excuse my chewing. Yeah, do you suppose the oil would create different effects on the paper too, Mary, from the chip? Well, that doesn't want to punch through there. Oh, okay. Okay, guys, this is where you should be when you holler ready at me. And Mary's eating potato chips. Well, yeah. I've been trying very hard to be very good. Jeffrey is trying very, very hard to be good. His sugars have been up the last few times that he's been in, and it had gotten to a point where they wanted him to start testing his sugars. And so he's been trying very hard to be good. So we just haven't been buying chips and things. Now, chips he can leave alone. It's the sweet stuff. No, no desserts or anything. I did try one of these with a full page just because I wanted to see how it'll work. So we'll try that out. And got odds and ends of stuff here. Oh, I know what I did with that. Okay. Okay, Dawn is ready. There were not as many pretzels left, so I ate potato chips instead. Aha! Rice cakes. Oh, I can pass on those. Dawn, since you're ready, anybody who's ready, tell me you're ready, and then you can cut out your little images. Okay, I'm going to start fussy cutting out some of my images for in a few minutes. And that pair of scissors is not going to work, so I highly recommend that you cut them into pieces before you try to cut them out. It's just one of those things that makes life easier. Oh, eggshells. We used to do that a long time ago. Oh, by the way, guys, do you remember me telling you the other night in Lisa's live that I had done something that was too stinking cute? It was just too stinking cute. And I wouldn't tell you what it was. Okay, Dawn, that sounds like a deal. Mary, I've been having Terra chips instead of potato chips. They have less salt and they're enough. I don't know. They're denser. So what I tend to do is eat fewer of them, and I really like them. I was gonna say something. Oh, I know what it was. The too stinking cute video will go up tomorrow afternoon, just so you know. I didn't say too stinking cute on the title, but that's what it is. Mary, my problem is with potato chips, I could eat the whole bag in one sitting. I'm salt addicted. Okay, Eve is ready and Dawn's ready. And when you're cutting out fussy cutting out your images, remember that this is gonna. Oh yeah, Eva, I can walk totally away from sweets. Totally. The dessert can get mold in the refrigerator. And cake, I can totally pass on cake. But a bag of potato chips, they have to be, I have to put them out in a bowl or the whole bag just disappears accidentally. And Becky, are you LOLing about the too stinking cute video? Okay. Oh, Dawn, that's high. Although, I don't know. Some people, our neighbor across the street, Jeff said that he was worried because his sugar in the morning had gotten up to 140, and the guy across the street said 140. What the heck? Mine's 800 in the morning, and I'm like, good Lord. But yeah, Jeff's A1C hadn't gotten that bad, Dawn. It had only gotten to 7. Hi, Kim. Okay, this is, wait a minute. Okay, Kimberly Ray. Okay, and the other Kimberly is 557. It's a good thing I looked up when I did. Kimberly, we are doing a project. It's called Totally Junk Journal. And let me put these out of the way, and I'll show you each week in my live stream. We are working on a Totally Junk Journal. It's the idea behind it is you don't have to have a lot of tools or supplies. My book is going to be made totally from junk mail. Today we used cardboard that comes from packaging, magazines, an old magazine. Yeah, Susan, that's high. And so what we're doing is each week we've worked on one sort of page kind of thing for our signature. The first week, and I'll take my signature out so you can see, it was a big sheet that we folded in half. And I have a Facebook group that we show things off. There, Kimberly Ray, Janet just posted a link to the playlist, which has things in it. And this is the second week, and the second week was a pocket. And this is made from an envelope. And the third, and I've just put in some plain envelopes for extra pages. The third week, we made a side pocket out of actually 2 envelopes. Eva, I'm just cutting out my little pictures. We don't need them we're not going to use them just yet. We're just cutting them out. And this week we're making tags that can go in our pockets. My tags are probably going to go in here because I really like how they stick out sideways, like so. So, if you, oh, hi, Bradley. Okay, and what we do is each week, the first week we started with, just a minute, Bradley, I'm explaining the project that we have been working on. The Totally Junk Journal basic supplies, which is basically old junk mail, a catalog or magazine, and I use that catalog for gluing because it just makes it easier for me to glue if I put my glue stick down. Old book pages, a couple of magazines that we're going to get images and things out of, your scrap box if you happen to have one, images for focal points, a glue stick, scissors, and a permanent marker. Janet posted the Facebook group too, which the Facebook group, we have been showing off our projects. So after the basic supplies and the first pages that we did, in week 2, let me turn this upside like that. You needed an envelope. That's because we made the envelope pocket, a pokey tool, which we discussed all kinds of pokey tools in that video because you could use, I think Mindy suggested a push pin, an ice pick, all kinds of things. I happen to have a pokey tool that I bought. It's a Tim Holtz pokey tool. Anything. Oh, and Janet, I found my tiny, tiny, itty bitty 16th inch hole punch. You could use one of those. And a thick thread and a needle with a big eye. Then the next week, we needed 2 pieces of junk mail the same size. I used 2 envelopes and cut them to the same size so that I had 2 pieces that were the same size. That's because we made the side pocket. This is week 4, and we needed cereal box cardboard, an ink pad of some sort, and a sponge or dauber. We're going to use a plastic bag, a plastic grocery bag, the thinner ones. And we needed smaller focal images and a hole punch. And week 5, next week, we're going to use a couple of white envelopes that are white on the inside, and then a full security envelope, because a lot of us have torn up our security envelopes in pieces because that's what we've been collaging with. Okay, Ruby's up too. So, and then you have to be on the lookout for cereal box cardboard, a big cardboard box, and that's a big corrugated box, a brown paper grocery bag, a single-sided junk mail, and the single-sided junk mail is a piece that is white on one side and has stuff on the other side. Down the road, we're going to use this, and this way we have some writing paper on the other side. And then this week I said that it would be helpful if people got a, oh dear. Guys, can you see me? Okay, it looks like I've quit spinning. I don't know. Hi, Stephanie. I hope everybody can still see me. Anyway, so those are the things that we're doing. Okay, did I quit buffering for everybody? Okay. Huh. Okay, Janet, you said yes. Janet, does that mean yes, you can see me? Okay. 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 It's showing me that I don't have very good video. So if you guys lose me, you'll have to holler, okay? And I'm not sure, but there we go. Stephanie, I'm really glad you popped in. I was just explaining our project. I'm going to go on to the next step, though, guys. So if you're ready, I think everybody's ready. Mary, are you ready? Mary's ready. Okay. The next step, now that these are a little bit dry, we're going to use, remember I told you you needed an ink pad, and either, you can use anything you want, and I decided I am going to use color on one of them. So just for the fun of it, But you can use your distressed inks. You can use whatever you want. If you don't have a dauber like this one, then you'll want a makeup sponge. And you can squash a makeup sponge, but if you don't have that, you can use your finger, like so, and just rub over it. Now I'm going to go back to the dauber because that makes a mess on my finger. But what you want to do is you just want to rub around on here, like so. And you see how it brings out your texture? Now this is one of the reasons why you wanted to let your piece dry. If it's not dry, then what happens is that your dauber is so wet that it picks up the paper. So I'm going to use my plain old vintage photo on the other one. And you don't want a tremendous amount of ink. With my finger, I kind of got it quite a bit on there. But you see the texture comes up. And now we have our two little tags, and I'm going to go ahead and do this one where I use the whole sheet, just so you guys can see what happens. Oh, I forgot to punch a hole in it. Now, if you're using a makeup sponge, remember that you kind of want to go around in a circle with it. You don't want to squash it down, up and down on there. But see the cool texture that you get and the cool designs that you get? Now, you could cut any design out of your cardboard that you want. Okay, I missed a great idea. A crayon on its side would work very well. Yes, a crayon would be perfect. Any chalks would work. The idea is just to bring up your texture that you created underneath there. I'm trying to think. Pastels. Now, the one thing about pastels is I'm not sure how dry they get. Since I don't work with pastels, if anybody can answer this question, you might need to seal the pastels before you went on. Kimberly, that's okay. You know what? I just say hello everyone when I come on. So now, if you have a corner rounder, you can round your corners. That's up to you. I'm pretending I don't have a corner rounder, so I will either trim my corners with my scissors, or I will leave them square, one of the two. I haven't decided. I think maybe I'll trim them a little bit because I don't really like them. Now, another thing you can do is at this stage of the game, if you want to, you can do your distressing of your edges just like you did before. Okay? Like we do a lot of times. Okay, these are our tags now. This one's an extra one. You can make as many tags as you want. Now we're going to take our images that we glued down earlier and we're going to cut them out. and use them on our tag. Now, if your image needs, okay, this is one of my little images. And one of the reasons we put them on cardstock or paper is because of the dents. Okay, if it had been just the paper, when we glued it down, it would sink in just like our other paper. Okay, so we didn't want it to sink in, so we put it on this cardstock so that it stays up. I was going to say, you know, we have, okay, where's my magazine? If we need some background behind our little images so that we can create a collage piece, we can use some magazine paper. Okay, this is just a magazine page I grabbed and tore a piece off of. So that it has some other depth to it, some collage type elements. Okay, and we have all of our little images that we glued down earlier. And I've lost parts of mine. Oh, I cut them up. That we can cut out and use on our tags. So what we're going to do now is add our little images. And it's going to take you a little while to cut out your images. So I'm just going to work on mine and let y'all work on yours. Oh, Marsha, hi. Okay, Janet, is Becky leaving? Okay, Becky, be careful if you are still here. Put your chalk pastels, they're practically unmovable. I slop them pretty, okay, wait a minute. I need to read what Susan is saying. Slop them pretty wet because it soaks right in, and then use a brush or a sponge. Okay, Susan, so the chalk pastel, you get the piece of chalk wet? And Marsha, hey, I'm so glad you got to pop in. Yeah, Marsha, make sure you see what Janet is telling you, because she has been messaging you. And I need to scroll up and make sure I didn't miss any of that conversation about the... Guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to check my recording to make sure everything's... Okay. For some reason, every once in a while, the recording stops recording. So there will be pieces. Marsha, if you want to play along, I'm trying to do actual recorded videos of the steps that we're using so that it makes it easier for people to play along with us. Rather than having to try to watch, what are we up to, 2 hours and 40 minutes of video, of live stream. The videos get kind of choppy, but I figured everybody would be okay with that. Suspense. Ruby, is that about the okay, Mary scrapes the chalk pastel into Mod Podge and then paints with it. It was Susan, though. Susan, Janet, said that she wets down. And Susan, do you just use water to wet down your chalk pastels? Um, but Marsha, I was just telling you that I'm trying to make an actual video out of the live stream. It'll be choppy and whatnot, but at least you can watch it and maybe play along if you want to. Um, okay. Leave the pastels in their trays. Put water on them with a brush or a sponge. Whatever I'm doing, you can stencil like that. Wow. Susan, is it any specific kind of chalk pastels that you use for that? Guys, when you're working on your tag and you're decorating of your tag, remember that in your stash you have some heavy thread that you could curl up and put underneath it and add more texture. Give me a second and I'll show you. Soft stencil edges. I'm gonna have to, we'll have to experiment with that. That sounds like fun. I had this heavy thread last time, and I think I have a little tiny piece right here. So if you make a little kind of rat's nest out of it, I don't particularly like that piece, but there we go. And then you can put your little thing over the top of it. I don't like that right now, but it's one thing you can do. Okay, Marcia. Cheap ones. Okay. Okay, Cheryl, Susan, that makes, that's helpful because, you know, that's all I have is cheap ones. Okay, Dawn. I hope you're feeling better tomorrow. There, now that might be better. But see how it gives it just a, I don't particularly like it on this particular one, but you've got those little fibers that you can stick under there. And I might have too much of this black stuff on here. Okay. Now, if you wanted to put a little word, you could also put a little word on there. I'm just going to glue this down. And this time I am not going to push real hard to push this part down. I don't really want it. It's going to sink in there no matter what I do, but I don't want it real far down in there. That just adds a little bit of background to our little pieces. And remember that our little pieces are only going to stick to the raised up part, so you want to make sure you get really good glue coverage on them. I'm missing, what am I missing? Was Marsha leaving already? we're getting there. We're getting there. Like I said, if you don't want to watch the whole live, I am going to try to do a what do you call it? A video, an actual recorded video. I'm going to try to take this one apart and put it back together again, but I will show you how to do things in just a second. 4 is just okay. Thank you, Susan. I try. Okay. Lisa, what we did, give me just 1 second, and I just want to get that stuck down. I got to get the sticky off my fingers. Oh dear, that's not going to go down. I'll just put it on like that. We took our tag piece and I got somebody beeping me, guys. Lisa, I'll be right back to show you what we did. Give me just a second. Let me find out whose that is. Okay, it's not my son, so it doesn't matter. It can wait. But Lisa, we cut up little squares and little pieces on the first tag and glued them down with space in between. Okay? So we glued this all over. It was like a big puzzle. What we're doing is we're making texture. We're making texture without texture paste. Okay? And we glued these down, and I glued mine down in you can see the lines in between. In sort of a pattern, but you want to leave some space. And the second tag, we took all the pieces and made them long, skinny ones, and they ran from the bottom. Let me cut something different. They ran like this. Okay. Thank you, Marcia. They ran up all the way to the top. Okay. Like so. Now don't forget to cut off your tag pieces. And Becky made the comment, and let me show you, Lisa. Let me trim this a little bit better so that I can actually use it. When you cut your tag piece, you know, you go like that, and then you take this piece and you hold it over here, and you cut the other side. Well, then you can take these pieces and use them up here in your texture part. Okay, that sounds good, Lisa. Then we pushed all of our little papers into it and then went over it with ink. So that's just the real quick version. And Lisa, if you want to sit and watch, what we're doing now is we're actually finishing up our tags, and to do that, we have to fussy cut out our little pieces that we put on the cardstock. And see, it makes them raised too. Okay? So, And I just trimmed my corners. I said, if you have a corner punch, you can use your corner punch. I am just not using tools that somebody might not have. So, okay, so there's that one. And this is my other one. And I highly recommend you cut these into chunks before you try to fussy cut them. This cardstock stuff is not that easy to cut. Let's see, I think this is what we'll go for. Okay. Thanks, Marcia. You know, not everybody has texture paste or stencils to put texture paste through. Now I have a little bit. I've never really used texture paste. I have played with it a little bit, but not a lot. Marcia, we glued all of our images to, this is a flyer from the post office. It's like cardstock weight. That way your images are a little bit more like ephemera. And thank you, Marcia, for teaching me how to say that. I'm pretty sure it was you. I may be wrong. It might have been Janet. No, it's Marcia. She's my pronunciation buddy. Found some triangle shapes from making. Yes, that would work really cool, Patricia. Stephanie, mine is outside playing with his Jeep. My Jeff is, of course, I'm not sure exactly what he's doing now. He was working in the little bathroom. He's trying to put the door back on. See, we have a bathroom now. We have a sink and a shower and the toilet, the whole 9 yards. But it doesn't have a door. Susan, yeah, you know, that's the whole thing, is a lot of people not only don't have, but can't afford. So, I think that butterfly is too big for that particular tag. So I think we will go with this little butterfly. But he's also, Stephanie, getting his Jeep ready for where the Jeep Club does the Veterans Day Parade. Our Jeep Club and an associated Jeep Club that's called Four Wheels to Heal. We make sure that veterans that want can ride in the parade, and those that might be disabled or something like that. Yeah, it's how to create with the basic things, Dawn. That's what I wanted. Yeah, it was Marcia. We are hooked on phonics buddies. Yep, that's right. I wanted it to be where, you know, you could play along and not have a thing. Okay, but now I like this, but it needs something up there. Maybe another butterfly. Let's see. This one, there's another butterfly. Yep. So I belong to a lot of the junk journaling groups on Facebook, and I belonged to them long before I started a channel. And it never fails that these people come and they say, well, I'm trying to save so that I can do this or do that. And I'm like, we need to just do it. Okay. I think the dragonfly is going to go in there too. And I don't think I'm going to put any background. The green on this, I think is enough. Now, a lot of people, when they put little ephemera pieces on their tags and whatnot, what do you call that? Distress all the edges, and you can do that. You now have some kind of dauber or makeup sponge and an ink pad in your stash of supplies. So you could distress all the corners and all the edges. Man, that's hard to cut out with those scissors. Okay. Stephanie, I'm auditioning things again. There we go. Yep. Nope, don't like it. I'll figure it out in a minute. There. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to glue those down. How's everybody doing? Oh, Stephanie, we've been having all kinds of stuff like that. Of course, it's our pollen season. Believe it or not, it's cold, but we've got a lot of stuff blooming. Apparently, my husband has decided it's time to come in because he's moving cars back around. I park on the driveway and he parks the Jeep off the driveway, so I get to have the driveway for my car, and he had to drive down the driveway into the back today, so Ruby, this is where, if it's plastic, that plastic coated mailer flyer you used, if you have any trouble with these staying on, you may have to use some different kind of glue or tacky glue or something. Wow, Susan, that's cool. Are they real dark, Susan, because of what they're for? Dawn, and my thing is that I love the Tim Holtz stuff, but then my stuff kind of looks like somebody else's stuff. And while I love that look, I want to be different too. So, you know, I use it sometimes, but sometimes I don't. And yeah, Stephanie, nope, every color. Cool. We've just had so much rain, Stephanie. Okay, guys, can I have everybody's attention? Okay, I need you to look at the screen because I'm going to show you. Mary, are you there? Are you watching? This is because of Mary, okay? Now I'm going to do my other tag in a few minutes, but I want everybody to tell me that they're there. So everybody chime in and tell me you're here, you're watching. I'm going to have a drink while you tell me. Mary's there. Lisa's watching. Susan's there. Dawn's there. Dawn, are you watching? Elisa's here. I haven't seen Ruby. Where's Ruby? Eva's here. Kimberly Ray's here. Kendra's there. Stephanie's there. I'm looking for the other Kimberly and for Ruby. Did Ruby have to go? Was it Ruby that had to go? Stephanie's there. Well, Ruby, I hope you're there if you're still here. This is because of Mary, okay? Now, I think it was Susan asked me last week. She said, do we need some yarn or something for our little tags? Oh, Kimberly 557's here too. Ruby, are you there? I'm hoping, Ruby, you're there. Oh, goodness. Goodness to Susan. Okay, you needed a plastic bag, right? I told you needed a plastic bag. Now, I did find this plastic bag, but I think that's too heavy. I don't think that one's going to work. So we're going to do it. I'm going to start with the black one, and then I'm going to do some white ones. But this is Mary's. I learned this from Mary. Okay? What we're going to do is we're going to flatten out our plastic bag. And we're going to fold our plastic bag pretty neatly. Okay? Oh, Dawn's here. Okay. Okay. And then I need my other scissors because this pair will not cut this. And I'm going to cut the bottom off and throw that part away. And then, now, I don't want real thick, but I don't want real thin either. So I'm going to go at about 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to cut off some 3/4 inch pieces. Okay, I'm not going to worry about cutting it all up because I don't need it right now. Hi, Joycey. Nope, I'm making plastic yarn. Okay, so I'm going to pull this down here. First off, I'm going to cut this right here. And then I'm going to cut this on this end. We're making our tag pieces for the top. I think I need another piece of this. Joycey, I'm doing a project where a blanket yo-yos. Nope, I'm not going to braid this one. I'm going to just make fuzzies. I'm going to make, not this time, I'm going to put it, now braiding it would be cool. Let's see, how many do I want? That's too many. I got about 6 pieces, and I'm going to twist it a little bit so I can get it through the hole, and I'm going to put it through my hole like so. And then I'm going to take all my little tails and put it through that hole that I just made with my thread. And look at there, we have our, now don't pull too hard, I just about pulled that one apart. Look at there, isn't that cool? Okay, wait a minute, let me look at this again. Cut strips to braid, yeah, you could braid them. Yes, and you can knit and crochet with these plastic bags. Okay, Susan, let me fold out another one and I'll show you, okay? Let me show you with the white paper bag. When I take it and I flatten it all out, okay, and then I fold it. I just cut the bottom off because the bottom doesn't work very well. And then what I'm doing is I cut it and each piece unfolds to be a strip. Janet, I have my grocery, I have like grocery totes that reusable totes that I have had in the past. Susan, does that make sense? That this just unfolds into a, okay, and it is a circle, but because it's a circle, I cut it into pieces so that I can use it as my tassel. And you guys, you have to thank Mary for this because Mary did this in one of her videos. And I happened to see that video and it just said, oh yes, this has to be part of our Totally Junk Journal project. And I'm just cutting up, this is basically a piece of yarn now, or a string, and I just cut it up. Okay, Susan's got it, okay. And then we put it through our hole and put our fluffy tops. I just twisted it up in the middle to get it through the hole easier, is all. And I put it through that. And then when you pull it down, you want to be a little bit careful pulling because that plastic is not real strong. Cut it 3/4 of an inch. Now there's a way, guys, that to cut up the plastic bag, that when you cut the plastic bag up, and I'll show it to you. Okay, so now I have fluffy ties on my, I may cut some of these off a little. There we go. I didn't want them all the same. There. Okay. Isn't that cute? Just, I had tassels like that on my butt. Oh, yeah. And this one's a little long, too. So, I think we'll trim them up just a little bit. I like that they're all different lengths, but now I will show you on this bag that we've already started with how to make a long piece. Okay? Okay, this is how to make a long piece of yarn. Or plarn, plastic yarn. First off, I'm going to get rid of my handles. Yeah, it's the only problem I had was the other day was that all I could find was white ones. And I wanted a little bit to color, and you know, I thought Walmart's used to be black, blue, but apparently they're white now. Okay, so we have rolled this up, but one side of our plastic bag is right here. Okay, now I'm going to cut this a little wider because if you're going to knit or crochet with it or do something like that with it, you want to have a little bit wider yarn. So I'm going to do about 1.5 inches. And I'm only going to cut it to there. You see, I didn't cut it all the way up. And I'm going to cut that same amount. Let's hope I do this right. Okay, so from here to the folded side, I have not cut, but I have cut these. See here? Okay, so now I have all of these like that. Now I wouldn't normally unroll it. I would have normally just kind of left it folded up. But then you open this up and when you put your hand in it, okay, let me get a marker so that you can see, because it'll be easier if I lay it down and draw it. Okay. Where's my other tail? Come on now. That one has an attitude. Okay. Okay, there's a cut right there and there. This is where it's cut till. Okay. So what we're going to do is, this cut, we're going to angle up to the edge. And this cut here, angle up to that cut. And this cut, angle up to that cut. Is that making sense, everybody? Okay. Okay. Susan's with me. Okay. So we got that part. Now, you're only going to cut through the top layer. You're not going to cut through anything underneath, so be careful. And this is way easier when nobody is, when you're not trying to show somebody something. Uh-oh, my scissors got caught. One of the churches down here uses this kind of yarn, and they weave bedrolls for the homeless. Okay, and at the other end, we're angling out to the edge and up to that cut. Where'd it go? Lost it. There we go. Okay, now I have one big, long bias binding. Yes, Gloria, it's just like cutting bias binding for quilting. It is the same, except that this is in a circle. So yes, when you sew it together, it's in a circle. And now you've got a ball of yarn you can use. Maybe I'll have to think up something we can use this for. But yes, Gloria, that's exactly. And if you look up cutting bias binding, actually, you can look up the cutting of plastic bags for yarn, and it'll be there. Yeah. Okay, I think I need to scroll back up and chat. Hold on just a minute, guys. No, it's not scrolling. Let me see. Joyce, that would be really cool to do that, is to weave them or braid them. Stephanie, we used those. Now, this one isn't a political flyer. This one happened to come from the post office, but that's what I used basically to put my little images on. So I'm going to finish up my other tag, guys. And how is everybody doing with getting your tags done? Okay, now I have a little ball of yarn that I'm adding to my junk stuff, my junk journal stuff. Sure. Not only that, guys, if you wanted to, you could sew on your tags. I mean, anybody can do what they want. One of the reasons we've been sewing by hand is because I didn't want to do something that everybody couldn't play with. So I wish I need a third one of these little flowers. But how's everybody doing with getting their tags done? Okay, I missed something. Gloria, what did you cover to make a glue book? Yes, Lisa, I haven't gotten any kind of glue out except a glue stick. And you just push down the paper. Now, Mary was having trouble because she put her pieces too close together, so she used dictionary page instead of the dictionary page and the book page and security envelopes. I used it all. I did go back. This one is just dictionary page. But I used a glue stick for everything. Lisa, I had used scraps. And this one is strips going across because I made the strips go this way. The strips of cardboard go this way. So I made strips of the papers go this way. This one was random all over everywhere. This one was one big piece of dictionary page because I wanted to try it out. Political flyers. Oh, yes, political. That would work, Gloria. Yeah, it's and they make for good good sturdy journal pages. And Lisa, when you go to put your ink on to the app on the page, you want to rotate your, you don't want to daub it up and down. You want to smooth it around like so. Or if you've got a makeup sponge, do the same thing with it. So, Lisa, I will suggest that you punch your hole before you put your papers on, because once the paper gets on there, it's a little bit damp and it's hard to punch the hole. Believe it or not, it punches way easier beforehand. Okay. Yeah, it's real good for that stuff. Okay, Marcia, I'm so glad you came and visited. Bye-bye. Okay, I am going to, on this particular, on these particular pieces, I want to ink them a little bit. Lisa, I did say to Ruby that those political flyers, they're kind of plastic, and if you've used them for your little pieces, that if you have trouble with them coming up, although mine seem to be down very good with the glue stick, but if you have trouble with them coming up, that, you know, to use some liquid glue or tacky glue. Oh, dang, yeah, Lisa, Susan, that would be really good. The texture idea to make coins with. That, oh yeah, we may have to do that. Ava, apparently Mary put hers a little close together too. I don't know if Mary's still here. I haven't seen her in a while. Of course, she's working, so she's not talking, possibly. But Mary put hers together a little tight too, I guess, and that's my fault for not saying to leave some space, more space between them. Bye, Marcia. I auditioned and now I've forgotten what I had done. Okay. Okay. Mary's there just working away like crazy. Okay. I didn't see her say bye, but that doesn't mean I didn't miss something. Look at my hands. I have made an absolute mess. What's interesting to me is the difference in using the brown distress type inks and using a color too. I think that's real interesting. Okay, Joyce was just checking. It's a channel that really likes the B somewhere close to your name. Dawn, my scraps are in just a minute and I'll show you. Let me put this piece down. Let me put this lid back on and wash my fingers off a little bit. It might be, okay, I tell you what, it'll be easier if I show you with the smaller box. We shop at Sam's for certain things, and can you, let's see here, see this tray? I'm waiting to, my picture's a little bit behind you guys, so give me just a second to make sure it's showing up. Ta-da! There's my last makeup sponge. It's kind of gone. Anyways, if you can see this box, Dawn, I have these. This is a small one. This is a peanut butter one, but they have them. They're shallow like this, and they're about twice this size. And it's sitting right in front of me, and it's filled with my scraps. They give them to you because they're just, as far as they're concerned, they're just going to go in the recycle or trash. And I keep them like that. Now the other thing is that I have a tiered rack that they'll slide into. So I can, as long as I don't overfill it, I can just put that away if I want to. So that's, you know, that's what I keep my scraps in. I have a plastic shoebox for my junk mail envelopes. Yeah, Eva, it's sticky. Oh, and Dawn, I have one of that's this. Just a minute, let me grab it. It's too far away. I told the girls in the beginning of the day that I'm going to start calling this the Hulk because it's getting really fat. It's not as fat, near as fat as some of the girls, but I put scraps in here. I put painty papers. I wipe paint off. It's also like the other girls, some of the girls call it a desk journal. That one's stuck together real good. See, I had some extra paint. I put paint on there. I was working on this one earlier today. I have an idea. I want to use this for something. See, that's another page I painted. This is just a composition notebook. Now, I've got a lot of pages right there that hasn't done anything to it. The composition notebooks, I'm real surprised at how sturdy this is, but somewhere somebody said to tie it in 2 or 3 places, it helps to reinforce the spine. I put duct tape on the spine. This is one that somebody had covered and given me, and then I put duct tape on the spine just to help hold it. One of the things about doing one of these journals, Dawn, is that you want to work in the back and then the front and then the middle back and then the middle front. Don't work on it from front to back, because if you do, it'll warp your spine and your whole book will be kind of warped. That's something I can't remember who I learned that from. I can't tell you who I learned it from, but I do know that it does make a difference, because before I learned that, I have a book that's kind of really out of shape. I started to tell you that I have plastic shoebox that I keep my junk mail envelopes in it, just the envelopes, because I don't allow myself more than that one particular container of envelopes. Yeah, the spine will bend around funny. I do know that. I think it was my, my brain is kind of mushy now. Shannon Green's Journaling by Fives. I didn't know it when I did that. Gloria, they call it a use it up journal or a desk journal or I can't think of what else they're calling it, but you use up your scraps of stuff. If you get too much paint out, and then rather than let it dry on your palette, you use it in your use it up journal. And I think Dee Dee Willingham calls hers a desk journal. I'm not sure. There's different, people call them different things. Yeah. A scrap journal, whatever, Now, they've been around for a while. People use them for different things. Maggie, who was here earlier, Mags Loxley, she goes back in after she's kind of gotten one. Once it's kind of filled up with stuff, she'll go back in and do collage on top of these pages. And she might cover up whatever background is there, but then it ends up being the background to whatever you do it. And lots of people have done more than one of these. Okay, I'm missing something. Stephanie calls her both. Desk, yeah, desk. Wipe it off book. Yes, Janet calls hers a wipe it off book. Dee Dee calls hers her desk journal. And I'm going to call mine the Hulk because it's getting so fat. And mine's actually pretty skinny. I've seen people who they stand up and they almost won't come together anymore. And I didn't start one until, probably, less than a year ago, because I didn't start doing this as like I have been. Put your leftover paint, stamps. Yeah, stamp it. You stamp off your stuff. Well, that's a good thing, Gloria. That works real well then, didn't it? He had leftover paint and you used it. Boy, it's getting, I don't know about the rest of you, but it's getting dark out. How's everybody doing with their tags? Tell me if you've finished. Mary, one of the things I was surprised at is how well this stuff stays in your tag. Janet turned hers into... Dawn? Yeah and no. I taught for Bernina dealerships. I managed Bernina sewing machine dealerships and started teaching sewing. And so I taught sewing, not sewing so much as how to use your sewing machine. I taught that for years and years and years. My son was, I managed dealerships until Brandon was born, and we moved back here to Florida, and I didn't want to go back to work because he was little. So I walked in the Bernina dealership, and the dealer there said, when are you coming to work? And I said, well, I didn't really want to. And she said, well, how about teaching my Bernina club? So I ended up teaching classes. And I had taught classes at the dealerships before. But so then, after we moved to Alabama, I kind of needed a job. And I was at school all the time with my little one. He was, first or second grade. And I was always volunteering. So in Alabama, to substitute teach, you just have to have clean fingerprints and a high school education. And I have a bachelor's degree with 2 majors. So I went to work substitute teaching. Well, I went back the second year and told her that I'd like to be put on the sub list. And she said, well, I have a position. If you would take it, I would really appreciate it. It was a teacher's assistant, a TA. Well, so I did that, and then we moved to Nebraska, and I needed a job again, and I went to the school, and I said, I've been a teacher's assistant for several years. Are you interested? And they said, of course. Well, when they called me for a job, it was the behavior room, and we spent the entire first day I was there restraining a child, which was awful, but it has to be done. And I worked there for 2 or 3 years. But so yes, Dawn, I have been a teacher. Now I need to read what I was looking at. Mary's putting her ties on, and Lisa's working as fast as she can. Lisa, I don't expect you to be finished. And Sharon is, these are great. I missed something Susan said. Oh, Elise has finished number 3. Okay, after my long story. I love my Bernina too, Gloria. I haven't worked for dealers in a long time. Not since we moved to Alabama, but I do enjoy them. Dawn, you need to go find a Bernina dealer and take some classes because they're worth learning to use. So Mary's about done, and Elise is about done. Ava, are you still here? Are you about done? Well, here's the deal, gang. I'm going to show you what mine looked like. It's tucked in their book. Let me find my book. My book has absconded with itself. It's run off along the way. Now they can go in your these. Depends on what size you made. You can put them in here. I'm maybe going to put mine in my side pockets. just because I think they'll be cute lined up like that. Where's the third one? Now you don't want to put them away right now, though. You want to leave them lay out in case they're not dry. But see, we got tags. Dealerships are, Bernina dealers are all, they're pretty much all really good to have. So now we got tags. And Lisa, if you went to a Bernina dealer today, they would have this great classes. I take my mom over every other month for something. These are so stinking cute. Yes, Gloria, it's so stinking cute. Guys, does anybody have any questions before I go? Because my throat's getting tired and my voice is going away. And I'll bet you a bunch of you have to fix dinner if you're fixing dinner. Oh yeah, they look cute sticking out the side. I think this batch is going to stick out the side. Although I may make another black one, or this one is so different than these two. I may put this one in a different place and make a third similar one, if that makes sense. Oh, Gloria, the 930s were fabulous. Okay, guys, let me end my video with a creativity quote. This is my book of 1001 Ways to Creativity. Thanks, Dawn. And guys, if you have any questions, just message me or email me. My email is always in the bottom of the videos. And if there's anything you don't understand, oh, wait a minute, before we do that, for next week, remember, for week 5, we need, oh, I had them, where did they go? Well, I'll just grab some new ones. I had them out. You need some envelopes that are plain white inside, okay? It doesn't matter if they have windows. Oh, this one has a window too. I had one that didn't have a window. I don't care whether they have windows or not windows, but you want some that are plain white inside. Okay? Oh, Stephanie, I'm so glad. Okay, Ruby was really focused, but she's done. Good. Ruby, did you get your yarn on there? Then besides the plain white, and get several, guys, of the plain white ones, because this might be something you want to do several of. And then you're going to need some security envelopes, but not torn up. Okay, you need some whole pieces of security envelope. Okay, that way, and so have several of each of these for next week. And now I'm going to read the creativity quote. And this is my quote from 1001 Ways to Creativity. Nobody is either 100% creative or 100% uncreative. Finding a way to mine your creative resources is the key to success. Okay, that's interesting. I like that. I'll have to think on that one too. So, okay, guys, I cannot tell you how much fun I've had, and I'm going to go before my voice totally goes. And you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you next week with these envelopes. And like I told you, and I don't know if you heard, Lisa, but Lisa, I was in your stream the other night when I said I had made something that was too stinking cute. Well, the too stinking cute video will be up tomorrow afternoon. So, Kimberly Ray, I'm so glad you popped in, and I hope you'll join us with our project. And I will hope you would, I would love, I don't know if you're in my Facebook group yet or not. I cannot remember everybody's name. So, anyways, guys, bye-bye. And Joyce, so glad that you popped in too. I hope that you'll join us in our project. Your Jeff says bye to my Jeff. Okay, Stephanie. We'll see you all later.